Welcome back, everyone. This is Betska, the Guru Coach, with Raj Vashisht, and we are Mindful Leadership Beyond Borders podcast. Our guest today is Mr. Roy Byers, and we are discussing resilience. We are discussing challenges in the healthcare industry, but throughout our discussion so far, we already know that the challenges that are happening in healthcare are the same pretty much around in all different industries, whether you're retail, manufacturing, government, it's like everywhere, right? So, Roy, let's talk about when you have high pressure environments like healthcare, what does it take to lead with confidence and clarity?
Okay. So for me, confidence isn't about knowing everything. It's about, I think it's about trusting yourself to figure it out. Um, so I remember I once worked in an emergency trauma unit where we had a catastrophic failure. So the systems were down,
Oh,
uh, teams were scrambling, chaotic. And I remember one of the junior surgeons again completely froze. And I could see panic in his eyes. Um,
wow.
and it's about supporting your team. I remember going up to him and you know, I'm a big breath person, and I said, take a breath. What's the one thing you could do right now? Um, and just taking that breath and focusing on that one thing, that single question, certainly it snaps me back to reality and clarity, and it did with him as well. Completely clear
Mm-hmm.
what he needed to do next. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I think the truth is, for me, confidence comes from action. In high pressure situations, I think it's really important to ground yourself, to sort of um, slow down before speeding up. We know panic spreads, so composure spreads. It builds the
Mm-hmm.
confidence. Um, and I think you've got to focus on your first moves, and overwhelm comes from, I think I've mentioned this, from thinking too far ahead. Confident leaders focus on the next best move, not the entire playbook. And I think just own the uncertainty. So, you know, it's okay to say, I don't know yet, but here's what we'll do in the meantime. Confidence isn't perfection. It's about,
Mm-hmm.
and I mentioned before, it's that sort of, for me, it's the breathing. It's that one breath rule. Whenever you
Mm-hmm.
pressurizing, just take one deep breath and ask, um, what's the next best step? And I find this simple reset moves you from panic to sort of clarity instantly.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. So what did you say? It was pause and then your three things, three P's, wasn't there?
Sorry, the one breath rule.
Yeah.
Oh no, so just take a deep breath. Take a deep
Mm-hmm.
breath, pause, and just think about the one next move that you can take.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think
Very
for
simple.
a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
it's just that pause and taking that deep breath can really kind of
Mm-hmm.
reset and get the clarity.
In chaotic situations, I've worked with leaders in who are panicking, right? And so I would often say to them, let's take a moment and pray together. Prayer, if you ask in prayer, very sincerely ask in prayer, usually a solution will come. So I think that's another thing people could do is just ask, pray to your higher power. Yeah.
Absolutely. Prayer, meditation.
Mhm. But in
So
that moment, when all hell is breaking loose, what do you do? So as you said, take a breath, do that pause. What's the one? action thing you can do right now, and also in that moment just pray, pray to your higher power and watch the answers coming in. Yeah.
And
So, oh, go ahead, Raj.
I am saying Roy is very humble also. So much soft and humble leader.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah. We need more of those.
Yes.
So, Roy, you are building a mastermind for high-level healthcare leaders. Congratulations on that. So,
Yes.
what inspired you to create this, and what impact do you hope to have or make with this program?
You know, it's something we've talked about. I've seen many exceptional leaders struggle in silence in
Mm-hmm.
healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
In healthcare, leadership is relentless. There's constant pressure,
Yeah.
um, high stakes, no, no real, no real space to pause. Safe spaces, they're not. You don't have a lot of safe spaces. So that pausing, that reflecting, or refining how you lead, I, you know, in a lot of places just isn't there. What I found,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think we could probably agree on this. The strongest leaders aren't the ones that go it alone. They're the
Yeah.
ones that surround themselves with the right people and
Mm-hmm.
peers who challenge and they support and they push them to lead with more clarity and resilience and confidence. So, it's about sort of creating, I'd call it a curated space where sort of top healthcare leaders can have the real conversations that they can't have anywhere else. No theory,
Ah.
just high impact discussions, real strategies, and a trusted network of people who really get it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I think um, when leaders operate at the highest level, their teams really thrive, and their organizations improve, and ultimately, it's the patients at the end of it, they receive the better care. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the ripple effects that I want to support to create.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. Well, that sounds exciting, and I wish you the Raj and I wish you both of us wish you the best with that. So, Roy, we've talked about a lot of things, and resilience being the major topic of discussion here today. When you're under a lot of pressure, high stakes, and a lot of stress, uh, resilience is a key characteristic that one could exhibit. So, if you could leave our listeners with one leadership insight that could change how they lead tomorrow, what would it be?
Gosh, okay. So resilience is it's not just about bouncing back. It's about adapting, sustaining, leading effectively under the relentless pressure that we've talked about. We spoke about obviously it's the ability to stay clear-headed in a crisis, absorb the stress without burning out, lead teams through uncertainty, and while doing that, it's about keeping morale and focus intact, even when the path sometimes doesn't feel very clear. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
keep moving forward despite the setbacks. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for me, true resilience in healthcare, it's not just personal, it's organizational. It means building teams, systems, and cultures that can withstand the challenges without collapsing under the pressures. So for me, it's about protecting the energy. I think it's really, really important. You need that to sustain high performance. It's building support systems. So leadership isn't isolating. Because my own experience, leadership can be very, very isolating. And
Mm-hmm.
great clarity. So decisions aren't reactive. There's a lot of reactive decision making that goes on in healthcare, but it's got to be strategic. Resilience in healthcare, I think it's the difference between leaders who who survive and leaders who transform the system. So it's about thriving and not just enduring.
One of the things we talk about in my own company is when we have issues, major issues, we need to do two things. One is fix the system that's broken and coach the people.
Yeah.
Because when the system is broken, I mean, the people are very sad and they're worried about the patients or their clients or whatever. And so we can't just leave the people broken. We need to coach them. And that's why I believe every leader needs to learn some coaching skills, individual and team coaching. Yeah. So they can figure out, they can find out what emotions are buried in the team. And unless you ask, sometimes the people won't share it. So, and those emotions are what can cause major damage in organizations. We need to fix the system, what isn't right, and then coach the people. And that's when you get a high-performing team.
Well said. Well said.
Awesome.
Don't just focus on solving the problems. Focus on strengthening yourself as a leader. That helps.
Yes. And we know from research that one of the major issues with leaders and why leaders fail is because of hubris or ego. And could you talk a little bit about that? What could a leader do to A, identify their ego and how it could be stopping them, and B, what is the best thing they could do about that?
Best thing they could do, I'd say, go and spend 6 months cleaning in a hospital.
I love it.
This is a good idea. So they understand the real problem.
Get your ego out.
Get the ego out. I love it. That's really good.
Quite quickly.
When you have to clean a toilet, you know.
Then they realize. Then they realize real pain.
Oh, I gotta love it. But do you agree that it is a major issue? I haven't seen any recent reports, but 4 or 5 years ago, hubris or ego in all industries is a major thing. So that's why Raj and I so appreciate your humility. You're so humble, and I'm sure that everyone viewing this can feel that as well, and why the people coming to your mastermind will really get a lot out of it. It's because of your humility. So
thank you.
Thank you, Roy. What a blessing you have been to our viewers here today. You can see from Raj's smile, he's very happy that we finally got you on our podcast, and we wish you well. God bless you.
Thank you,
guys. Appreciate you.